Hey, welcome to session 2 of Understanding the DISC Profiles. My name is Nick Edwards. I'm a life leadership and business coach, and I guide leaders to greater results. As we've talked about before, one of the things that moves businesses further, that moves organizations further faster, is the ability to communicate and to know who's on your team. There is no greater resource on this than the DISC personality profile. I'm so honored and grateful to be able to teach this to so many different organizations and companies just like yours. What we realize is that when you understand who you are and your strengths and your communication style, you then understand that other people speak a different language than you. When you understand that they speak a different language, you begin to know how to speak their language, to communicate with them, and ultimately connect them. What makes great leaders is the ability to influence others. And there's no better way to influence other people than communicating with them and connecting with them. On today's session, we are going to look at the I personality style, how they differ, what makes them unique, and how important they are to the team. The thing that we need to understand is that your team needs all of these different positions and all these different personality styles. To have a team without each style is a team that's lacking in certain positions. To be truly great and to accomplish greater and greater results, you need to have key players in each of these positions. You need to make sure that you have the right person with the right assessment in the right positions. And when you do, your organization will begin to take off and make huge strides and huge results by making sure they play out to their strengths. So let's take a few minutes and unpack the I personality style. When we look at this graph and we understand how each personality is different, we see the D, the dominant personality. That's what we looked at during our last session. They are about results. They are about action. They are about moving things forward, and we called them the driver. They are the ones who drive things forward. Today, we're going to look at the I. They are the influencer. They are about action and enthusiasm, but they also are about collaboration. So the influencer style is a huge part of your team. When your team gets to that point that you just feel like we've gone round and round, we can't come up with an answer. We can't come to what is best or a new creative solution to this problem. The I brings energy. They bring momentum. They bring a creative side to your team to come up with something that's maybe outside the box, outside the norm. Sometimes they throw up some crazy ideas, but in that they come up with some genius. They come up with new creative ways to solve problems. And every team needs an influencer. Every team needs that catalyst who is able to bring their influence, their enthusiasm, and the ability to collaborate. This is what's so key. Where often a D will run by themselves and be so task-oriented that they will leave people behind, the I also wants to move fast. But with that, they collaborate and they bring the team with them. They bring the energy because they connect with everyone on the team. Now let's look at who are the I's and getting to know them. Like I said, they are enthusiastic. They bring the energy. They are about action, just like our D's on that top half of our graph. The D's and I's move fast. They are about action. They are about moving the organization forward, but they do it in different ways. Whereas the D is the driver and they make hard decisions and sometimes run people over, the I is able to collaborate. They learn ideas from other people and they listen to those because they build relationships. They live fast, they tell great stories, they connect with others, and because of that, they add great value to every team. So we need to understand what drives the I, what motivates them, and what drains them. When you look at this, you understand that they need public recognition. It's often said that the I's favorite subject is, I. They like them some I. Let's talk about me, myself, and I. They love public recognition. They love opportunity to collaborate, and they love being on stage and being in the spotlight. Now, with that, they also have these things that drain them. They don't like working alone. They don't like working on very detailed projects. They don't want to get bogged down in things that slow them down. And they definitely do not want to have a negative energy or a negative attitude in the most crucial moments in decision making and how projects are moving forward with the team. The other thing they don't like is rigid structure. They want creativity. They are your creative people, so give them an environment to be creative. Where we talked about that for a D, you can't have a manager who micromanages them. For the I, you have to create an environment where they can use their strengths to bring out the newest ideas and the best way to implement those ideas. Now, I's have a superpower. They are connectors. They are storytellers. They are persuasive and influencers. They can sell ice to an Eskimo and make sure that that person feels good about it. When they walk into a room, they walk in the room and everyone looks at them and they want everyone to look at them. They have the ability to network and meet new people. They have the ability to sell products and make people feel connected to you and your organization. The other thing they do is they build morale. The way they do that is they collaborate and connect people. They make everybody feel valuable when ultimately, really, the I thinks they are the most valuable person on the team. Now, they have their kryptonite, right? With every one of these personalities, there is a strength and this superpower, and there is this two-edged sword that cuts them, and that is their kryptonite, the thing that they struggle with the most. For the I, the thing they struggle with is this fear of approval. They want people to love them. They want people to approve of them. They want people to be able to tell them, great job. Now, another one of their struggles is they can have a little bit of an ADD type attitude, and they can overlook details. Now, for the C, that drives the C crazy because they are all about the details. But the I wants to look at big picture, like the D, but run fast more on the people side than the task side. With that, they can be a little impulsive and they can make quick decisions without thinking through all of the implications of that decision. And with that, they are optimistic. They have the idea and desire that they can talk themselves out of any bad scenario or any bad decision. They are optimistic and often lose the objectivity to be able to see the data and the information that's in front of them. I's lead with their heart. They lead forward with their energy and their emotions. And so sometimes that makes them lose objectivity in decision making. Now, they bring incredible value to the team. The I's bring the energy. I've often said that if you have a party and there are no I's at the party, you didn't have a party, you had a meeting. The I's are the one who bring that social component, who bring the energy, who bring the juice, and bring the joy and the fun to the team. Let's be honest. D's and C's are task-oriented. Very rarely do they bring fun to a team meeting or to a team at all. But the I's, they bring the energy and the fun and the joy of being part of your team. So they create the climate that creates a positive atmosphere, a positive environment where great things happen. They can also be relationship builders. They're the ones that welcome people onto the team and make them feel like you're part of something very big. They're visionaries and they move forward with new ideas and they build energy and excitement along the way. Now, with the I, you have to understand there's two components here. There is the thing that drains them and the thing that boosts them. There's the thing that sucks the life out of them, and there are things that you give them as an opportunity and it makes the entire team better. For the I, don't give them tasks. Don't make them sit in a closet by themselves. Don't give them projects that are so detail-oriented they have to do it alone. Allow them to collaborate. And when they win, tell them how great they are. Tell them they did a great job. Tell them the importance of what they did, their specific thing that they brought to the table, and why that was so important to the success of the entire organization. Yeah. Tell them that you love them. Tell them how great they are. Tell them how important they are to you as a person and to the team. So how does the I communicate? They're all about social time. They're all about having informal chats and talking around the water cooler, and they probably waste a lot of time in the process. They want to talk about stories and personal experiences. And those personal experiences can be the thing that really dominates their time if they're not careful. They focus on the big picture, they miss the details, but they always want to communicate with others. They often bring ideas that are not even realistic, but out of those ideas, they bring something new. So if you were a D and you want to be able to communicate with an I, here's a few things that you need to know and remember and keep in your back pocket. Number one, share the spotlight. Just like you like to run fast and you like to make things happen. But with the D says, I don't need the recognition. I just want to go to the next thing. The I needs to stop and be recognized. Talk to them about their strategic goals. Talk to them about how they've achieved those things and how those conversations will go is that it will create more energy for you and your team, leading to even greater success. Not only praise them privately, but praise them publicly. Focus on the things that matter the most and why they are the biggest contributor to the team. Don't micromanage them. Don't get bogged down in the details of what they didn't do. Keep it positive, keep it social, and make sure that you give them opportunities to collaborate. Now, if you're an S, S's avoid conflict, and they are people pleasers, and they are great people who get things done behind the scenes. If you're an S, here's a few things that you need to know for communicating with the I. Be a sounding board. I's like to talk, S's like to listen. I's like to talk about how great they are and want everyone to love them. S's are great about loving people. Listen patiently to them. Listen patiently. It's okay to allow them to talk. Ask for clarity. The I's overlook detail. So ask them, hey, when you have this big idea, when you have this project, when you're working on something, give me some more information. Can we walk through it step by step? The other thing on this is to express appreciation. Talk about your bond. Talk about the connection that you have and how together you build trust and that you help the organization move forward. Then for the C's. C's are all about the details and looking at every single step in the process. They're all about analyzing the information. If you're a C, the I's will drive you crazy. You will see them as moving too fast without having knowledge to make decisions. So it's okay to slow down and just allow them to be, okay? Acknowledge how great they are first, then you can analyze. You want to ask them details, questions. If you do not start with talking social and planning social conversation before you get into the information, you will never win them over and you will never be able to talk about the things that matter most to you. You have to speak their language first. Provide a framework, give them details. Here's what I would like for us to do. And then just know sometimes it's going to go off the rails. It's not going to work like that. And then the last thing is C's like to concentrate and be focused on details for a long amount of time. I's do not work that way. You're better off having 4 15-minute meetings with an I than 1 1-hour meeting. Keep it slow or keep it small. Keep it steady and continue to work through the process. Don't get bogged down in the details. The key things for the I are these. They are the team's catalyst. They are energizers, and they bring fuel to every meeting, every event, every project. They bring new ideas. Appreciate them. Understand the value that they bring, and understand that with that, they also need some structure to help them to be at their very best. When you do these things, when you know how to communicate with them, when you know how to praise them and appreciate them, you speak their language. And everything that we're talking about through this process is about making sure that we speak the language of the person that we are meeting with. As leaders, we have to speak their language, not expect them to speak our language. So what does that look like? It means knowing yourself, knowing others, and leading accordingly. Because when you speak their language, you connect and you build influence. And every time you connect, it creates greater opportunities. The DISC model, this method of communicating, this method of understanding your strengths is incredibly important. If you're an I, go be great. You're doing great things. Understand your strengths and understand how you play together with everyone else on your team. It's all about communicating. It's about connecting. It's about leading with influence. Thank you for joining us for this session of the DISC method of personality assessments. My name is Nick Edwards. You can find out more information at myleadershipcoach.org.